welcome back to the channel. Episode 5, the Survivor Series 1987. This one is going to be sweet because I'm changing everything that happened up. So stick along. If you haven't watched the rest of the episodes, the first 4, watch the first 4 so you understand the storyline where we're up to. Let's get into this one. Now what I always like to do is show you who are the champions after our last pay-per-view, which was WrestleMania 3. We've got Hulk Hogan as the world champion, we've got Ricky Steamboat, Intercontinental champion, Hart Foundation, they're the tag champs, and Moolah is the ladies champion. But then, was there any title changes in between WrestleMania 3 and Survivor Series 87? Yes, there was. So I have rewritten and rebooted. We have on Saturday night's main event, the rivalry continuing. The Davey Boy Smith and Dynamite Kid, the British Bulldogs, they defeat the Hart Foundation once again, and they become the new tag team champions. Which means our champions going in before Survivor Series 1987 are Hulk Hogan, Ricky Steamboat, the British Bulldogs, and we're vacating the Women's Championship, the Ladies Championship. We're vacating it. There is not enough women's wrestlers in the 80s for me to reboot it. There's not enough on the roster. We're not just going to keep Moolah as the champion, so we're going to vacate that for a while until we get some absolute superstars back on the roster. So that's vacated. That's going to be vacated probably for a couple of years. But let's see who we take off the card and put on the card before we do the card. So we're taking off the card. We're taking the Islanders. The Islanders are coming off the card. They're not going to be. We're not going to have that big, massive 10 tag team extravaganza. We're keeping it traditional. It's too big. We want to see eliminations of teams. So the Islanders unfortunately come off. Ken Patera, you're coming off, and the Bolsheviks, they're coming off as well. So they're all coming off the card. They're not going to be on Survivor Series 1987 now. And put on the card to have matches that they didn't have before. Superstar Billy Graham didn't have a match, and this is going to be his last match ever. So we're putting him on. This is his last match ever. George the Animal Steel, Ultimate Warrior. Junkyard Dog didn't even have a match. Adrian Adonis, Coco Beware, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. He is going to have a match. We need him to have a match on Survivor Series 1987. So now we know who's on the card and who's off the card. Let's do this. Let's do the reboot of 1987 Survivor Series. And of course, before we start the Survivor Series, let's do the rules. I cannot forget to do the rules for you. So anyone on the WWE roster can be booked. Once an official WWE contract is expired, superstars cannot be booked. Injuries to superstars, they can be booked because due to title, the story is changing. The life has changed now. Injuries didn't happen unless it's a big, massive, major injury where they're out for a couple of years. We can't fuck around with that. Book pay-per-view smart because the storylines will continue each week. Now let's do this. Okay, so we would start the show in an in-ring promo with the $1 Million Man, Virgil, and Bobby the Brain Heenan and Andre the Giant. And $1 Million Man declares that Andre the Giant will beat Hogan tonight and sell the WWF Championship over to Ted while stuffing heaps of money into Bobby the Brain Heenan's pockets. So we're going to have like the Saturday night's main event happen earlier. We're going to have it happen at Survivor Series. So match number 1, we're going to have Team Beefcake versus the Valentine feud happen here. So Team Beefcake is going to be Brutus Beefcake, Coco Beware, and Strike Force against Greg the Hammer Valentine, with their feud continuing. Dino Bravo, Honky Tonk Man, and Adrian Adonis. This could be a pretty damn good back and forth match with eliminations, but we're definitely going to have it come down to Beefcake versus Hammer again, just to finish the feud off, and we'll have Brutus Beefcake go over and be the sole survivor for match 1. Match 2 would definitely be the 2x4s versus Team Money. Now, Ted DiBiase didn't have a match in this original 87 Survivor Series, but he definitely needs to. So, Team Money, we've got Ted DiBiase with Virgil there around the ringside, King Kong Bundy, One Man Gang, and King Harley Race. Absolute awesome team, that team. We've got Hacksaw Jim Duggan with the Rougeau brothers
and George the Animal Steele. We're going to have a bit of a whitewash, not too much. We'll have Hacksaw Jim Duggan getting one elimination, but we'll have Ted DiBiase and One Man Gang and King Kong Bundy eliminate the Rougeau brothers and George the Animal Steele. Then it'll be 1 on 4. We'll get King Harley Race eliminated by Hacksaw, but then the rest of the team's too strong. King Kong Bundy and One Man Gang gang up, and then Ted DiBiase finishes off Hacksaw Jim Duggan with Ted Bundy and One Man Gang being the survivors of the second match. So the new tag team champions, the British Bulldogs, continue their rival with the Hart Foundation. So the British Bulldogs are Team Bulldogs versus Team Hart. We're going to keep this going. Absolute good. I don't want the whole 10-man tag team match. I want these 4 on 4 or 5 on 5, whatever we can do and fit in. But this year it looks like I'm doing 4 on 4s. So we're having British Bulldog, Junkyard Dog, the British Bulldogs, and Junkyard Dog and Jake the Snake Roberts. And they're against the Hart Foundation, Danny Davis and Butch Reed. We'll end up coming down to Davey Boy Smith and Bret Hart once everyone is eliminated, down to those two, and we'll have Bret Hart win with the sharpshooter, so Bret Hart can be the sole survivor on that match, which that would be, on paper, that's a pretty damn good match if you ask me. Now the new rivalry that I've set up of Steamboat and Rude, that continues. So it's Team Dragons versus Team Chiseled. Ricky Steamboat, the Killer Bees, and the Ultimate Warrior. This is going to be the big build for the Ultimate Warrior. We're going up against Rick Rude, Mr. Wonderful, Don Morocco, and Hercules. Look at Team Chiseled. That's a beautiful Team Chiseled right there. We'll have Ricky Steamboat and Rick Rude get each other counted out. How about that? Those two can both get counted out, so they can continue their feud. Mr. Wonderful can eliminate one of the Killer Bees and Don Morocco, but then Ultimate Warrior will go through all of Hercules, Mr. Wonderful, and Don Morocco, with Ultimate Warrior being the sole survivor. Another sole survivor. And that's a damn good match on paper again, so that's a damn good match. Match number 5 would see Team Macho Madness versus the Team Beast. Macho Man Randy Savage, the Young Stallions, and the final match ever for Superstar Billy Graham. I'm putting him on there. This would be his final match ever. We're going to give him a match. They're up against Bam Bam Bigelow, Demolition, and Outlaw Ron Bass. Who doesn't like Outlaw Ron Bass? I loved him. This, once again, is going to come all the way down to a one-on-one match. Once Billy Graham gets eliminated, and then Outlaw Ron Bass, Young Stallions and Demolition can take turns of eliminating each other. But then Macho Man Randy Savage comes one-on-one with Bam Bam Bigelow. What a feud this could be. What an absolutely wicked rivalry this could be. And Macho Man Randy Savage wins the epic battle one-on-one. We've got another sole survivor for another Survivor Series match. Last up, we have the WWF Championship match, Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant with Bobby Heenan. Andre the Giant will go over as the new WWF Champion after Ted DiBiase. He interferes when the ref is distracted, and using the twin double ref gimmick. We're going to use that gimmick still, but why have it on main event? Let's have this on pay-per-view. After the match, Hulk beats up both referees, and Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase, they flee backstage. Backstage promo, Andre awards the WWF Championship to Ted DiBiase. Now, Ted DiBiase is, at the end of this show, official champion, but until we get to the next pay-per-view, we'll see what happens officially with the WWE Championship.
I hope you enjoyed the pay-per-view reboot. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and give it a thumbs up. It always helps the algorithm. So the champions after the pay-per-view, Ted DiBiase, has been handed the championship by Andre the Giant. We'll see if that will slide. Yes, you know what I'm doing. I've pulled what's supposed to happen a couple of months away. I've pulled it to the Survivor Series because it's better on pay-per-view. And then we can do some stuff on Saturday night's main event. which with the title. So it's going to make more sense when you watch next week's episode. Ricky Steamboat, Bulldogs, still the champ and still vacated there the Women's Championship. So we'll see what happens in controversy, which is going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So there's the original card. There's my rebooted card. I think my rebooted card is way better. Way better. You can see Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant needed to be on pay-per-view, not on Saturday night's main event. We're going to save that special episode of Saturday night's main event later on down the track, and you'll see what will happen there. Warrior needed to be on the card. The Hart Foundation and the Bulldogs feud continues. I know they fought each other there in this big massive tag team match, but didn't need to be done. Also, we totally scrapped the Rock and Robin tag team match with the females there as well. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Next episode, episode 6, is the Royal Rumble 1988. Royal Rumble 1988 is going to be killer. A lot of changes I've done to this Royal Rumble. Stay tuned and enjoy. See you.